Hey guys, welcome back to day 2 of my video series for interview prep from Leetcode. Today we're going to be looking at challenge 2626, array reduce transformations. Let's get started. Okay guys, welcome back to day 2. We're going to be looking at 2626, array reduce transformation today. I'm going to try and give some new hints today for interview prep and just how to handle the interview process in general. If you guys haven't seen my first video, I'll link it above up there, and I go over my 3 tips for solving problems live. But I'm going to try and give some new tips today. Okay, so this challenge says, given an integer array, a reducer function, and an initial value, return the final result obtained by executing the function on each element of the array, sequentially passing in the return value from the calculation on the preceding element. This result is achieved through the following operations until every element in the array has been processed. The ultimate value of val is then returned. If the length of the array is 0, the function should return init. Please solve it without using the built-in array.reduce method. Okay, so as you can see, again, they're trying to test us on these things without us using the method that's available to us that kind of does this for you. So let's look at a couple examples. So in the first example, the array of numbers that they pass is 1, 2, 3, 4. The function is a sum function where it takes the accumulator, the current, and then it returns those things added together. So if the initial value is 0, we can expect the output to be 10 because 4 plus 3 is 7, plus 2 is 9, plus 1 is 10, and that's all of them just added together. So taking a note from my first video, we already read the question in its entirety. So now we're going to try and see if there's any little quick, easy wins we can take from the questions as it's asked. But my number one tip for today is to try and think out loud. As you're going through the interview process, you really want to demonstrate your thought process, right? That's what the interviewer needs to see from you. So just think out loud and use it as an opportunity to break the ice. Okay, so piggybacking off my tips from yesterday's video, take the easy wins. In this particular challenge, they give us one right here. If the length of the array is 0, the function should return init. So let's solve that one first. So looking down here at the code, we can see that the first parameter we get is an array of numbers called nums. The second one is a function of type function, which is declared up here. And the third is the initial value, which is also going to be a number. And then we know that our entire reduce function is going to return a number. So let's start by checking to see if the nums array is empty. So if nums.length returns falsy, we just want to invert that and then return init. And that solves that first piece right here. So let's run it and see. We're going to run it. And there we go. Test case number 3 passed because of that. So the array was empty, the initial value was 25, and we got our expected output. So that's one piece of the problem already solved. In my opinion, it's really good to chip away at problems like this. It shows the interviewer that you are breaking down the problem into small blocks, trying to solve one piece at a time. And in this case, you're already 33% of the way there. It's better than nothing. Okay, the second easy win, in my opinion, is this one right here. The ultimate value of val is returned. So I'm going to say that we're going to eventually return val. So the next thing we want to do is use that numbers array to drive the iteration and apply the function on every index of that array. So let's start out by using nums.forEach, and then we'll be on that current number, and then we'll open up our return. And now what's important to notice is that the first time we call this function, we want to call it with init, the init value that was passed to our reduce function. So we need to create a variable that stores that, but then can be overridden later. So let's start by initializing val and setting it equal to init. What this enables us to do is now call the function, pass in val, and our current number that we're iterating over. And then we want to store the result of that back into val. So let me explain how this works. The first time we call the function, we want val to be equal to the function called with the initial value that gets passed in, and then the current number of the numbers array. So because we stored init into val the first time this gets run, the first time this gets called on index 0, val will be equal to init. Then every iteration after that, val will now be equal to what it was equal to the previous time the function was run. So let's run this and see what happens. There we go. We got all of our test cases passed. My third tip for today is to always go back and look at your solution and see if there's any way you could have done code cleanup. This just kind of demonstrates to the interviewer that your first iteration might not always be your best, but you're always looking for ways to improve. So one quick and easy win we can do right here is just break this down to a one-liner. And there we go. Just a slightly cleaned up version. And that's it. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Please give me a like and subscribe, and we'll see you in the next challenge. Peace.